Right Edition, welcome. Happy day. RightEdition.com, our new site. Check it out. In Texas, a jury there recently acquitted a man on a charge of murder, and it was alleged that he murdered a 23-year-old escort. He invited her over to his home for sex, or so he thought. She took his money, would not have sex with him, pulled his gun out, took a shot at her to frighten her, actually hit her. She died as a result of that shot, and he was charged. And in Texas law, it says this, it says kind of interesting, it says, you're allowed to use deadly force to recover property during a nighttime theft. Well, this wasn't nighttime, and his property was his money. She provided or didn't provide a service, and he did provide the money. And when he was leaving the courtroom, he said, "Thank God for my acquittal." Hey, sounds reasonable to me. Hey, now in another part of the state, where is this? North Dakota. Here's a man. He ranks up there with the best of them in the stupid criminal file. He walked away from his release job program and basically broke out of jail, call it. And he had phoned his girlfriend previous to that attempt or to that breakaway, and she came and picked him up, and they were driving away, and he was safe, he was free, but he started to fight with her. He picked the fight, and she got mad, stopped the car, pushed him out of the car somehow, went home, phoned the police, and said, "You'll find your escaped convict walking down the freeway." And they went and picked him up and put him back in jail. Venezuela, the Socialist Party there under the late President Hugo Chavez. Oh boy, what a guy he was, huh? Socialist, I don't even know that that's a proper word when you take away all the nerves and brains from all the citizenry. What's left? Is that socialism? And you pick another set of words if you can, huh? But in any event, he went on to say when he was alive and president, that I prohibit all types of baby bottles because I want to improve your children's health. We want to also increase the love between a mother and a child. Who was this guy? The Law and Promotion for Support for Breastfeeders is what it was called. It passed in 2007. And, you know, talk about being into the lives of the private citizen. I mean, only a commie nutcase could do that. And unfortunately, the people that are left behind now that he is gone are doing the same thing, more of the same. That's a liberal. The definition of liberalism/socialism is you're too stupid to think for yourself, so we'll think for you. I wonder who appointed these people. They think they're God. They walk around. The left people, they have a brain disease, and half the world is made up of left people. Watch out for them, will you, because they're kind of dangerous. Here's construction now. This is kind of a fun story. It's a good story. 5 years ago, there was a couple in Florida that were building a home. Not an ordinary everyday home. It's kind of big. 10 bathrooms, 30-car garage, a roller rink, 2 tennis courts, a bowling alley, 3 swimming pools. Hey, who would ever think you need 3 swimming pools and a 4-story grand ballroom? 90,000 square feet. Kind of sounds more like an amusement park. But in any event, they went broke. The house went into foreclosure. Things were bleak. 5 years later, the man has pulled it back together again. He's making money, and he says, we're going to build now. And construction has resumed, and God loves a capitalist. Hey, good for him and good for her, he and his wife. 121 members of parliament in Canada. That would be the equivalency of a congressman, right? 121 of them have declared at least some income in addition to their base salary of $160,000 a year. Plus, of course, they have all types of incentives and office staff and tax-free this and tax-free that, and many of them make much more than $160,000 a year. Okay, they're supposed to work for the people in their riding, right? That's their job. When you hire somebody, it's kind of a life job. I know that there's a couple of schools of thought up there. People say, you know, what I do after hours is my business, and I can get a job, a part-time job, if I wish. But this is a little bit different. You're working for the humanoids that elected you, okay? Can you really go out at nighttime and take money from those same humans when you're out talking about your job? Because you're always introduced as a sitting member of parliament. There's a conflict there, and it's going on all of the time. And not only that, they don't really do their job throughout the day. They're too busy running their own business. Here's guys that collectively cost the taxpayer about $1 million a year per person, with all the side benefits and all the different things, okay? And they're taking part-time jobs, and some of these part-time jobs bring them in as much as $1 million a year. Again, is there a conflict? No kidding. Bob Rae recently resigned from his position as a member of parliament in Canada, and he says, I'm going to go on and represent the First Nations interest in Ontario's multi-billion mineral development project. Estimates put those revenues at $50 billion, and he said, I'm the guy to go help them. Now I'm going to be a negotiator. Talking about conflict, right? How long has he been doing this? He goes on here himself to say, I've been doing this anyway, and maybe, you know, I can't do both any longer because it's a hard job. It's become clear to me that I'm going to do better here. Personally, this has been a difficult personal decision. I bet it has been. I mean, how many more people can you take advantage of? Huh? You might as well now go do it to the Indians. I mean, I agreed to work with as a negotiator in dealings with the government of Ontario. It used to be the Premier of Ontario, screwed that up royally, and now the other sitting people in the Parliament are saying things like this. The existing Prime Minister, Stephen Harper, for instance, says, I wish him best of luck with future endeavors. And he's, I'd like to commend him for his many years of public service. Why don't you just say the truth and say, I'd like to say that I'm glad to see you go because you've screwed everything up, you're a contrarian, and now you're going to do this. Is there a lot of money in it? Of course there is. Is it coming from the citizenry? Of course. The taxpayer, because the Indians don't pay taxes. Now you got a guy that's lived at the public trial all of his adult life, continuing to do so in a bigger, more dangerous way, because he's right there every day. Give us more money. A white Indian, got to be pretty darn dangerous. Let me end today with this. Kind of a Canadian politics again, although this is applicable to every country. I named my dog, my new dog, Senator. He sleeps 20 hours a day. He has his food prepared for him. He eats whenever he wants. His meals are provided at no cost. He visits the doctor as often as he wants. Everything is free. He pays for nothing. Nothing is required of him. He can lay around and talk and talk and talk and bark and bark and bark, as it were, and do nothing else. He makes no contribution to the running or maintenance of my home. If he makes a mess, I clean it up. He just has a choice of every luxurious place he wants to lay down and have a sleep. He's living like a king, and he has absolutely no expenses whatsoever that aren't covered by me. And his costs are picked up by others who go out, work hard, and earn a living every single day. Hey, that's kind of a joke. Are you lightened up yet? Go out and face the day. Attack the day. See you tomorrow.